Good evening, Corvallis. Tonight on the Beaver News, a recent spike in vehicle thefts on campus, and World No Tobacco Day on campus as well. Those stories and more coming up next. Welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Beaver News. We're glad to have you with us. I'm Spencer Smallwood.
And I'm Andie Judson. A recent spike in vehicle thefts on the Oregon State University campus remained unexplained, said Oregon State Police Lieutenant Jeff Lands. Between May 14th and May 17th, 4 vehicles were stolen from campus parking areas. The Daily Barometer reports that 3 of the vehicles were Hondas and a 4th was a Nissan. According to Lands, the thefts were likely all conducted by the same individual or group, but there are no suspects or leads at this time. Lands believes the Hondas may have been targeted by a thief in possession of a master or shaved key that was used to gain entrance to the vehicles. In addition to the 4 vehicle thefts, personal property was stolen from 2 other Hondas, which showed no signs of forced entry. Lands said if a shaved or master key is being used, the key probably worked in the door of those cars, but not the ignition. One of the stolen vehicles was later found near Halsey Hall, but Lands said the other vehicles have yet to be recovered.
Peer health advocates presented World No Tobacco Day in the Memorial Union Quad yesterday, providing information regarding health risks of tobacco use and informing students of the policy change at OSU. According to the Daily Barometer, May 31st has been set as the World No Tobacco Day every year. On this day, a booth in the MU was filled with pamphlets, carabiners, a giant fake cigarette, and pledge sheets. Peer Health Advocates is a peer-to-peer volunteer organization that provides information and resources to Oregon State students on many health-related topics. According to the LA Times, the World Health Organization states nearly 6 million people die from tobacco use each year, including 600,000 non-smokers, and without action, those numbers could rise to more than 8 million by 2030. World No Tobacco Day exists to help prevent that from happening.
Oregon State University broke ground yesterday, May 31st, on a $14 million Student Success Center that will provide both the general student population and student athletes with an array of academic support services. A brief ceremony began at 1:30 p.m. on the site of the center, which is located at the intersection of Southwest 26th Street and A Avenue. According to the OSU website, the 3-story complex, scheduled for completion in June of 2012, is adjacent to athletic faculties and numerous residence halls. It will feature approximately 30,000 square feet of classroom space, a computer laboratory, study lounge, and common area, as well as counseling offices, meeting rooms, and tutorial spaces. Susie Brubaker-Cole, OSU's Associate Vice Provost for Academic Success and Engagement, stated the first year at school for students is particularly critical, and one focus of the new center will be to better engage freshmen, transfers, and other first-year students who are trying to acclimate themselves to university learning.
On Sunday, moments before their 3rd consecutive loss to the University of Oregon, the Beavers learned that the road to Omaha begins here in Corvallis. For the first time since 2006, the Beavers were selected as one of the 16 regional hosts. Oregon State, the region's top seed, will be joined by 2-seed Creighton University, 3-seed University of Georgia, and 4-seed University of Arkansas Little Rock. The Beavers will face UAR at 6 p.m. Friday at Goss Stadium. In a double elimination format, the winners of each first-round game will play again at 6 p.m. Saturday, and the losers will play an elimination game at 1 p.m. Saturday. This is Oregon State's 3rd consecutive regional appearance. Junior Brian Stamps tweeted Sunday night that it didn't matter who the committee sent to Corvallis because the Beavers would, quote, send them all home when it's all said and done.
Through Oregon State University's long history, the campus has undergone major changes. Despite these changes, the campus has maintained a great deal of authentic charm that reflects the original construction more than a century ago. Driving the campus preservation efforts are the City of Corvallis and the Benton County Historic Resource Commission and Preservation Works. The Daily Barometer reports that to celebrate local Historic Preservation Month, weekly tours have been offered to give locals a glimpse into the campus history. Larry Landis, a tour guide, said that OSU has maintained and adhered to many of the elements set forth in our 1909 campus plan. The plan, he says, was done by John Olmsted, who was the stepson of a famous New York architect. For more information about the walking tour, please visit the website below. We're going to take a short break. When we return, invasive jellyfish in Florida and the Walmart of weed. So stay tuned.
When you open a book, you can explore new lands, make new friends, and discover new adventures. There are amazing possibilities when you open your mind to reading. Explore new worlds. Read.
Metal cone! Metal cone!
Let's go! Hurry!
Metal cone! Metal cone! Metal cone! Metal cone!
Dude, why is your mom driving us to MetalCon?
Remember when I bought us all snowboards on that credit card and never paid it back? Well, I guess they check that stuff out when you apply for a car loan.
Afterwards, we'll all go out for ice cream.
Don't let your credit put you in a bad place. Go to controlyourcredit.gov.
To the Beaver News on Channel 26. As you plan your upcoming summer vacations, you might want to stay clear of Florida's beachfront. According to CNN, in the past week and a half, over 1,600 people within a 10-mile stretch of Central Florida's Atlantic beaches have been stung by a non-indigenous species of jellyfish. Brevard County ocean rescue officials have begun putting up signs from Cocoa Beach to Cape Canaveral, indicating the hazard. According to Monty Graham, a scientist at Alabama's Dauphin Island Sea Lab, these particular jellyfish are much more common in the Mediterranean, and that the last such outbreak in the United States was over a decade ago. Though none of the reported stings so far have been serious, they can cause itching, burning, rashes, and can trigger an allergic reaction.
It's being called the Walmart of weed, and it's the biggest outlet yet that is scheduled to open today in Phoenix, Arizona. Arizona voters approved medical cannabis last fall. CNN reports that We Grow Store will be the first outside California where medical weed has long been legalized. None of the chain's 3 stores sell the drug. Instead, they unabashedly promote medical marijuana by offering, quote, everything from supplies to services that cultivators need to grow it, end quote. Melissa Gianfilippino, the spokeswoman for the company, stated that what sets the We Grow apart from the mom-and-pop stores selling the growing supplies is that We Grow openly states its hydroponic equipment is intended for pot, calling itself the nation's only hydroponics franchise that openly talks about medical marijuana. The Oakland, California-based WeGrow sees a boom in Arizona and projects 100,000 Arizonans acquiring state medical cannabis cards, DGN Filipino said.
The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating a deadly bus crash Tuesday in Virginia. 4 passengers on the commercial tour bus were killed and 54 were injured when the vehicle ran off the road and overturned on the side of I-95 in Caroline County, Virginia, according to the state police. Investigators blame the accident on driver fatigue. Driver of the bus, Kin Yu Chung, of Flushing, New York, suffered minor injuries and was treated at the scene. Chung has been charged with reckless driving and is being held on a $3,000 bond at Pamunkey Nash Regional Jail in Hanover County, Virginia. The Virginian State Police Motor Carrier Safety Team ruled out any mechanical errors or malfunctions after inspecting the bus. The 4 women killed in the crash have been taken to the office of the Chief Medical Examiner in Richmond for identification. They won't be named until the family has been informed, though.
The Department of Defense announced Tuesday that capital charges have been refiled against Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and 4 other alleged co-conspirators in the September 11, 2001 conspiracy to allow prosecution before a military commission at the Guantanamo Bay, Cuba naval base. According to CNN, the move comes after the Obama administration dropped plans to prosecute the suspects in federal court in New York. All 5 suspects are at Guantanamo. A Pentagon statement says the charges, quote, allege that the 5 accused were responsible for planning and execution, end quote, of the 9/11 attacks, resulting in the death of nearly 3,000 people. The filing of capital charges means the defendants could face death sentences if convicted. We're going to take another short break. Coming up next, the Facebook page of a child yet to be born. So please, stay tuned.
Got no pulse, still losing him.
Charging. He's in VFib.
Shock him. Drives that road all the time. Just had a few drinks. This can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear.
You just buzzed.
Just buzzed. You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right, this isn't happening. He'll be fine.
I feel good.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving.
Clear.
Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shock him.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel like a fish with no water.
Learn how to prevent your child's next asthma attack. Because even one attack is one too many.
Horseradish. Is that for horses? Remember me, Mr. Lobster? From last Tuesday?
Banana. 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 Here comes the rain. We need a hat. And why do we need a hat?
They got.
That's right.
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org.
So you can't save money? It's easy as pie. Brown bag your lunch instead of going out. $6 save times 5 days a week times 10 years is $21,000. That's a lot of lettuce. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feedthepig.org.
Corvallis, and welcome to your Thursday night edition of the Beaver News.
Tell me a little bit about the history of music a la carte.
United States. We believe that giving potential customers
or cameras is nothing.
Welcome back to the news here on Channel 26.
Three out of 4 kids are not as secure as they should be because their car seats are not used correctly. But the latch system makes it easier to get it right and to hold your kids tight. Anchor, tether, latch. Learn more at safercar.gov.
The elevator and the blood bank, both are ideas from the minds of African Americans. Support the United Negro College Fund, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Everyone has friends.
There's online friends. Friends to go out with on a Saturday night. Friends to hang out with and do nothing. Friends who show up on moving day. And then there are the friends who'll be there if someone is dealing with a mental illness. Are you one of those friends?
Welcome back to the Wednesday Night Beaver News. A robbery suspect nicknamed the Grandma Bandit died in a shootout Friday in Atlanta, Georgia, authorities said. Later, authorities discovered that Grandma was actually Grandpa. After further investigation, detectives have determined that the person believed to be the female suspect is in fact a male. DeKalb County Police spokeswoman Mecca Parrish said Friday evening. His name is Roxanne Taylor, a 57-year-old man. Police had issued an arrest warrant on Thursday for someone who they thought was a 58-year-old woman, Roxanne Taylor, charging her with 3 robberies. The Grandma Bandit gained notoriety because of the apparent woman's age and the signature robbing style, approaching cashiers and demanding cash after producing a revolver out of her purse. Taylor was killed after a highway chase that led to a firefight. The police are uncertain if the lethal blow was self-induced or not.
The statement that technology is being used by increasingly younger generations takes an entirely new turn when parents in White House, Texas, make a Facebook page for their unborn child. CNN reports that instead of breaking the news of pregnancy by word of mouth or phone, Ellie and Matt decided about 4 months into her pregnancy that it was time to announce the big news by making their yet-to-be-born child a Facebook. Unborn Mariah Green sent out hundreds of Facebook requests, and her mother Ellie says, "Everybody is on Facebook. All of our friends are on Facebook. Things fly through Facebook now." And it didn't take long for people to accept the news. One day yielded over 100 friends, she said. At first, Ellie and Matt just posted updates about Mariah, but now Mariah speaks in first person on Facebook.
The Supreme Court is denying former media executive Conrad Black a second appeal. According to the CNN, Black, the former chairman and chief executive of Hollinger International, and 2 other former executives were accused of mail and wire fraud. Charges were made in connection with accepting improper payments of $5.5 million from a Hollinger subsidiary. A Canadian citizen by birth, Black was currently served 26 months of a 6.5-year prison sentence in federal prison, and has even gone so far as to seek a presidential pardon. Prosecutors used a similar argument against Black as was used to convict ex-lobbyist Jack Abramoff, one-time Health South CEO Richard Scrushy, and former governors Don Siegelman of Alabama and George Ryan of Illinois. Black is expected to be in court for resentencing next month. Well, so quick to say, but we're going to take another short break. But don't go anywhere. Coming up next, a Catholic country votes for divorce, and a crazy E. coli outbreak in Germany. You don't want to miss that.
life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Ativa and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad
One more
today.
time. Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
No matter where you live, life in the ocean depends on you. Do your part to help protect it. Recycle and dispose of your trash properly. To learn what you can do, go to keepoceansclean.org.
Join the dating game for laughs and fun.
What is your biggest pet peeve about the opposite sex?
I don't really like when girls say, "Oh my God!"
With one lucky guest looking for the answers, and if the contestants have got it, then they've bought it.
If you could be any animal, which one would you be?
Some sort of exotic bird.
A tiger because they're ferocious.
The show will get you wondering who's getting the date and who's going home. Watch the dating game.
Welcome back to the Super News on Channel 2. The outbreak of E. coli in Germany has killed several more people and sickened hundreds, authorities said Tuesday. News reports citing local authorities reported 16 deaths linked to E. coli in some raw vegetables. CNN has confirmed at least 12 deaths. As more people have died, the outbreak has shown itself to be spreading geographically as well. No longer contained in northern Germany, the outbreak has killed at least 2 people in the western part of the country. One of the 16 deaths was in Sweden. A woman died after visiting Germany, the Swedish Ministry of Health and Social Affairs said. The Robert Koch Institute, Germany's federal unit responsible for disease control and prevention, said 373 people have been confirmed sickened. But figures coming from local authorities and hospitals made clear many more people are believed to be infected.
The translation of the voice below the macabre YouTube video clip reads, "Look at the bruises on his face along with his broken neck." The clip is a 2.5-minute gruesome catalog of wounds of Hamza Ali al-Khatib, a 13-year-old boy. Hamza was separated from his father in the chaos of a march in Daraa, Syria, in an attempt to break the Syrian military siege there. A month later, the family received his body, where the video was taken. CNN reports that much of the video of the child's corpse is too graphic to broadcast. CNN added that they cannot independently verify what happened to Hamza or the authenticity of the video, but it has played a role for Syrian people. Razan Zatuneh, a prominent activist in Syria, stated that due to the video, people, quote, got angrier. Every single family in Syria felt, even if they were not directly with the revolution, they felt that Hamza was their own son, end quote. The face of this 13-year-old from a village in southern Syria is now a symbol of an uprising.
75 additional bodies have been recovered from a wreckage of an Air France plane that crashed off the coast of Brazil 2 years ago, more than doubling the number of remains that have been found. The bulk of the wreckage was found this year after a search by a robot submarine of an underwater mountain range. Only about 50 bodies were recovered in the days following the crash. Details of the doomed plane's last minutes only began to emerge last week as Air France air accident investigations studied data records recovered from the wreck earlier this year. The aircraft climbed to 38,000 feet when the stall warning light was triggered and the airplane stalled. The report said the pilots lost contact with air traffic controllers while flying across an area of the Atlantic Ocean known for constant bands of severe turbulence. Air crash investigators at the Paris-based BEA have been working on the theory that the speed sensors, known as pilot tubes or probes, malfunctioned because of the ice at high altitude.
Voters in the overwhelmingly Catholic country of Malta have elected to allow divorce, the Prime Minister said. CNN reports that initial results of a weekend referendum suggest the measure will pass with some 54% of the votes in support of the introduction of divorce. Though counting continues, analysts predict the vote will carry, and Maltese Prime Minister Laurence Gonzi, who opposed the measure, has conceded. Gonzi stated that, even though the result is not what I wished for, now it is our duty to see that the will of the majority is respected. The Mediterranean island nation of Malta is one of the only countries in the world that does not permit divorce. About 98% of the Maltese residents are Catholic. Gonzi said the parliament is now expected to enact legislation that will make divorce legal.
South Korea said Tuesday it regrets North Korea's announcement that it will cut off all ties with the neighbor. North Korea's National Defense Commission issued a statement Monday saying, quote, "It will never deal with traitor Lee Moing-bak and his clan," end quote, referring to the South Korean president. The North said it would launch an all-out offense against Seoul for allowing anti-Pyongyang propaganda to be sent by human rights groups and some politicians in balloons across the border. South Korean Foreign Ministry spokesman Chow Boing-jae said Tuesday night, "We think it's time for North Korea to be serious about dialogue and show transformed efforts." Well, folks, that completes tonight's program. We hope you enjoyed tuning in with me and Andie each Wednesday night. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night for one last Beaver show at 7 p.m. Thanks for everything, folks. It's been great. But like always, have fun, be good, make good choices. Good night, Corvallis.